Welcome to Winging It. We're playing Arkham Horror the card game today. This is the final scenario, Lost in Time and Space, with my progression, Agnes and Wendy campaign, using only cards from the Dunwich Legacy campaign cycle and from 2 cores. If you look in the links below, you'll see my deck upgrade video, where you can see the upgrades I took to get here. We are going to draw our opening hands and get to the action. So, drawing up 5 cards for Agnes, looking for spelling, fighting, and cluing. And spelling, I guess. Looking for spells. Alright, we have... Alright, Holy Rosary and Arcane... so, Zebulon really would be nice, but I feel like I need... Well, we got some cluing. It's not ideal. I guess we'll keep... Well, we get to immediately replace the weakness, so that could inform us. Okay, and her other weakness. Alright. So, I'm loath to throw away the emergency cash. I guess we'll throw away the guts, the emergency cash, and Zebulon. He can give us card draw, actually. We'll keep him. So we're going to replace 2 cards. And we'll get painkillers. And a fire axe. Okay, well, I guess we got a little bit of fighting and a little bit of cluing. Probably just going to be drawing cards. Not ideal hand. I would have liked to have seen like a Rite of Seeking or something. Shriveling. And Wendy. Cluing and allies. And we got the perceptions for cluing. I'm out of here. It's not useful right now. Backstab. Finally, we replace the weakness. We gotta look what I found. Okay, so she's at a clue. I think we'll throw away the I'm out of here. We'll keep the others. I'll draw a card. Okay, we got Henry Armitage. So we can make money in case we need it. Well, we got soaks at least. So that's the thing. Maybe it wasn't good. Well, we can pay for the backstab with Scrapper. So we can just draw cards and Armitage them to get resources. And maybe that's our enemy management solution right from the get-go. Alright, let's look at the agenda. It says, all is one. Pathways of sound and color extend for an eternity in all directions, dotted with an impossible architecture and overgrown with an alien wildlife. The lines between objects are jagged and shifting, and your skin feels as if it were inside out. Forced after you moved to a location by an encounter card effect. Take 1 horror. Then we are in Act 1A, Out of This World. Somehow you must find your way across this alien landscape in order to find the nexus that was described in the old Whately's tome. For an action, you can discard the top 3 cards of the encounter deck, choose a location discarded by this effect, and resolve its revelation ability. And we're looking for 4 clues to advance. Okay, and then finally they are on another dimension. It's a 6 shroud, a 0 clue location. Forced, when a location leaves play, move each investigator and unengaged enemy at that location to another dimension. Cannot be cancelled. Alright. So, I think Agnes gets out Zebulon, the Rosary, and the Fire Axe. I think we could delay... Well, no, let's play the... I don't have emergency cash. Okay. Get a really high willpower up. We're going to play Zebulon and the Holy Rosary. That'll be 5 resources. And then we will do the action to put a place out into play. So, we'll do action 1. We'll spend 3 to put out Zebulon. And then we'll just hope to get some willpower treachery so we can get some draw. And then we'll spend 2 for Holy Rosary. So our willpower is now a 7 already, which is pretty nice. And then last action, we will discard the top 3 cards of the deck looking for a location. Offer power, tear through space, and climb in reality. Okay, so this is Revelation, put through tear through space into play. Forced at the end of the round, either place 1 Doom on tear through space or discard it. There's 1 clue, it's a 1 round. And I'm going to start off putting location connectors here. But it quickly gets out of hand, and I probably won't keep doing it eventually, but it at least gives us an idea of where we're going. So there's a one-way connection to tear through space. You can't get back to another dimension from there. So we want to be careful before we mosey on out. So I think what Wendy is going to play Henry Armitage, and then she's going to draw a card. And she might Armitage it for resources. So we'll see. And then she might put out a location. So you want, because you can't move back, you want to put out a few locations, but you don't want to put too many locations because if you look at the skulls, it's -1 for each extra dimensional location in play. So the skulls can get really nasty if you put a lot of locations out in play. So the key with this one is just managing, that you do that well. That you pick the right number of locations out in play. So we'll spend 2 resources and we'll put out Armitage for our first action. Second action, we'll draw a card, and it's a flare. Well, we're not going to Armitage that for sure. So we are going to spend 2, and we will do flare. We're going to look at the top 9 cards for an ally. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Interestingly, we could grab Peter out of Agnes's deck since she's not using him, but we're not going to do that. All right, so here is the 9 cards, and we're already, I see Leo DeLuca, and we already know that's what we want. So we're just going to grab Leo DeLuca. And he goes into play, and we exile Flare. It's the last scenario, so it doesn't really matter. And that gives us our extra action. I'll probably just draw another card, and if it's something I don't need, we'll just Armitage it for resources. Again, we just want to have some resources to spend on backstab if we need to. We draw an enemy. There's a lot of nasty enemies in this deck. So the thing is, of course, she can get out and start getting clues if we get a couple locations into play. But I kind of want Agnes to do that because she doesn't really have a lot of useful things to do right now. If we get a 2 clue location out, she could move out there and draw into flame, I suppose. All right. So last action, she will draw a card. Wendy's Amulet. I don't think we want to Armitage that. The problem with Armitaging cards is there's a lot of useful cards in my deck. Okay, that's why I put them in there. Alright, so we'll refresh. Okay, and then Agnes, for upkeep, will draw a Guts. We're really hoping for a Willpower Treachery. She can get some draw. And then Wendy will get her own Guts. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and discard it using Henry Armitage to get the 3 resources. I hate to do that on a Guts, but Agnes has some that she can commit, and this gets her right up to being able to start, paying for stuff, and that's pretty good. All right, so we're at 1 of 4 Doom, and we're going to draw a card, and we get an Interstellar Traveler. You spawn at any extra-dimensional location. He's a hunter. When he enters a location, flip 1 clue on that location to its Doom side, and place it on Interstellar Traveler, or place 1 Doom on Interstellar Traveler if there are no clues on that location. So he goes ahead and eats. Oh, actually, so this was. At the end of the round, either place 1 Doom on tear through time or space or discard it. I would have put a Doom on it with the idea of going out there and clearing it. So now he takes a clue and takes a Doom. It would have been better for me not to have done that. Okay. So we're going to advance unless we kill the Interstellar Traveler this turn. So already things have gotten nasty. Alright. And we get a conglomeration of spheres on Wendy. Okay. Well, we advance unless we can figure out a way. She could backstab the Interstellar Traveler, but I don't know if she can beat it without a way to boost. She could commit her amulet. We really don't want to advance. So I think we're going to have to make a play, which is just not great. Alright. So Agnes is going to spend one resource. Actually, she's going to draw a card first. So action 1, she'll draw a card. Fearless. Okay. Pretty good. Action 2, she's going to spend one resource to play Painkillers. Which just has 3 supplies on it. And then she will, last action, engage the conglomeration of spheres. Alright, so that Wendy is free to go out and sneak attack the Interstellar Traveler. She can't even get that clue. And we're going to lose her amulet. It's just no good. Okay. We could avoid losing her amulet if we just take resources. Take 2 resources, move, and sneak attack, and then she could boost with Scrapper up by 3. That seems good. Okay, so Wendy will take action 1 and action 2. She'll take 2 resources. Action 3, she will move out and engage the Interstellar Traveler, and then she'll spend 3 to sneak attack. She's at 4v4. She'll spend 3 resources on Scrapper to be up by 3, and then we will pitch Perception to redraw it if we fail. Okay, -4. We will pitch a Perception, and we'll redraw. This is her last action. -2. Whew. Successful. The Interstellar Traveler is dead. Okay, it is any phase. Agnes will take a damage, any horror. She'll go ahead and take the horror on herself so she can do a damage to the conglomeration of spheres. Now it is upkeep time. Agnes will get guts. She's got lots of willpower boosts. And a resource. And Wendy will get a sneak attack. Can she find a way to exhaust the conglomeration of spheres? We could Armitage this, then she could put down her amulet. That's pretty good, actually. So she'll Armitage that. 3 resources. Should be exhausted again. Alright. And then we will not put a Doom on here. It goes away. We get no clues off of it. We take a horror for moving back, which we will just put on Armitage. Making no progress in dealing with enemies. Alright, we are now at 2 of 4 Doom, but at least we didn't advance. And Agnes will get the Steps of I Can't Pronounce That. This is a really good one to have in play. Revelation, you put it into play, and then draw the topmost Madness card in your discard pile. We have no Madness card in our discard pile, thankfully. Force, when you leave the steps of this place, test 2 willpower. If you fail steps, and shuffle it into the encounter deck instead of moving to your original location. So this is just out here. It's not connected to anything. All right, and then Wendy will get Terror from Beyond. Choose one of the following: assets, events, or skills. Well, she doesn't want to lose her amulet. She doesn't. If she realistically, how realistic is it that if I discard the look that I found, she can get it back? She's wondering. Agnes doesn't have hardly any events in her deck. So this is what she's got. She's got the Perception, the Look What I Found, and the Wendy's Amulet. And at least she'll have the Look What I Found that she can play with Wendy's Amulet if I discard it. So I'm going to go ahead and say Events, which loses the Agnes is Drawn to the Flame as well. This is one of those that, like, it's really hard for me to have been totally objective, because I know the right thing is to get discarded events, because I know that Agnes has, 2 guts and a fearless that she really, really needs, and she's going to need that fearless to heal the horror that she's taking from this conglomeration of spheres. But, I think that I can make the good case that the right thing was to do was Look What I Found, even though what I really wanted was to play the sneak attack. So I don't know. Right now, I think we just put more locations into play, but Agnes is just going to be stuck with that conglomeration of spheres, and we have no way to really attack it. Unless we just want to spend resources on Scrapper and punch it to death. Alright. We want to get this Look What I Found off the top of her deck. I think Wendy will action 1, draw a card. Let's see what we get. Internal Injury, okay. So, at the end of our turn, we'll take direct damage. So we'll spend 2 to clear that, because it's gross. And then last action, we'll spend 2 to play Wendy's Amulet, and know that we didn't do much this time. So, do we want to play Wendy's Amulet? We don't, actually. We'll not play Wendy's Amulet. We will engage the conglomeration of spheres, their last action, so that Agnes can try to draw spells and do stuff. Alright. Agnes will use a supply on painkillers, take a horror damage, and she'll put another damage on conglomeration of spheres. And that's for each hero. She will take an action to draw a card. She gets Arcane Studies. She's going to draw another card. Forbidden Knowledge. Well, the Painkillers is doing most of what it does. We're going to re-engage. We're tossing this conglomeration of spheres back and forth, trying to free up actions. I'm telling myself it's okay to do this, because Wendy spent 2 actions getting rid of Internal Injury, but this feels really, really, really terrible. Alright, so Agnes takes, in the enemy phase, a damage and horror. And she'll put a damage on the conglomeration of spheres when that happens. She's got to do 3 more damage to it. If Wendy could get that sneak attack, we'd be in okay shape. And then for upkeep, she will draw a Lucky. Okay, well, she could maybe punch with a Lucky to do 1 damage. That's pretty good. And then Wendy will get a Will to Survive. Well, she can play Will to Survive and just punch him a bunch of times. That's also a play that we could do. Alright. Alright, we're at 3 of 4 Doom. And we'll get Endless Bridge. Okay. So making sure that this one didn't surge earlier. Okay, so Revelation, put it into play and lose 2 resources. So Agnes is going to lose her 2 resources. So much for playing Lucky. All right. And then it's a force shroud, 2 clue location. Forced after an investigator leaves Endless Bridge, either place 1 doom on Endless Bridge or discard it. Okay, and again, we'll put our location connector. And then we'll draw another counter card for Wendy. We'll get Arcane Barrier attached to your location as an additional cost to move in or out of attached location. Test 4 willpower. Okay. And then you'll discard cards. So that's something that Wendy would actually, or that Agnes would actually like to test. Armitage is not. So Wendy could, I mean, she could will to survive and just punch the conglomeration of spheres twice. She could move out onto the Endless Bridge. You know, the thing is, if she plays will to survive, she could actually punch the conglomeration of spheres twice, move. She couldn't fail to get the, it would be nice to get both of those clues, but whatever. She could defeat the Arcane Barrier. Punch, move, and then investigate to get a clue. I think that makes sense. So we'll spend 4 resources to play Will to Survive, which puts it on top of her deck. But is what it is. Okay, she punches twice, so does 2 damage. She moves out, testing the Arcane Barrier, and she passes that because she's at 4 willpower. And then she will investigate to get a clue. So that's the move and investigates. And then Agnes will use a painkillers to heal a damage and take a horror and kill the conglomeration of spheres. That's a free trigger. So, not really where I wanted to be with all this horror, but she can soak it, I guess, with the Zebulon. Alright, we will, action 1, put out a Forbidden Knowledge. So we have that with the 4 charges. We will, 2, we'll draw a card. Looking for some way to be able to, I mean, we could put out this Arcane Studies, we just don't have any resources to use it, so. Oh, another Arcane Studies. Well, we could commit those to be up by 4, I suppose. Or to get our intellect up to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are going to Forbidden Knowledge, exhausting it, to take a horror on Zebulon. That's a free trigger, and we get a resource, and then we'll spend that resource to put a Fire Axe out, because let's at least have some way to do damage, to fight. Alright, and that is all of her. And we've gotten 1 clue after 4 rounds. They are not tearing it up this time. Okay, upkeep. Oh, there's our shriveling for Agnes. Right after I put the Fire Axe out. She gets a resource. And then Wendy will get Double or Nothing, which we want to keep. We don't want to traumatise that. And now we advance this. Alright. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. No! The Agglomeration of Spheres is going back in. Then discard cards from the top until a location is discarded. The lead investigator resolve that location's resolution effect. And then check the campaign log. If the investigators failed to save the students, read the following. We did not, so we're okay. So we shuffle this in. and then we discard until we get a location into play. Oh, this is actually ready now. Alright, and then we're discarding until we get a location. Okay, we get a tear through space, which is we don't do the search because we're only doing the revelation effect. So we just put it into play. It gets a clue, and then at the end of the round, we have to put a doom on it. And then again, we have this connection, and these two are actually connected. All right, and then we have the new agenda. Past, present, and future. As you cross this realm, you catch occasional glimpses of reality, scenes from old memories, more recent visions from the past few days, and sometimes even events that you do not remember ever happening, forced after the same forced effect. Alright. Now we're doing encounter cards. Agnes will get Wormhole. Discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a location is discarded. Resolve that location's revelation ability and then move to that location. Okay. So we get the Prismatic Cascade. This is a 2-shroud, 3-clue location. Revelation, put it into play and discard a random card from your hand. Oh, if we discard the Shriveling, I'm going to be so mad. After the last clue on Prismatic Cascade is removed, discard it. Okay. And this is connected to the red. It is not connected to the blue. It is connected to this plus down here. So alright, so we are looking at it. It's got 3 clues. Also, okay, we have to discard a card from our hand. If the 2 cards that I'm most terrified of losing would be the Shriveling and the Fearless. Guts. I'm okay with that. Okay, she moves here because she's forced from an encounter card effect. She just take a horror. We will put it on the Holy Rosary. Actually, we'll put it on Zebulon. Because we might want to get Peter out anyway. Okay. And then Wendy will get Visions of Future Past. Test 5 willpower. For each point you fail by, discard the top card of your deck. She's not committing to this, that she's going to discard cards from the top of her deck. It's fine. It's -3, so she fails by, that brings her down to 1. She fails by 4, so she can discard double or nothing. Elusive. Stroke of Luck. And Will to Survive. So she's still got a Will to Survive on top of her deck. Alright. So I think what we want to do... Oh, and there should be 2 clues on the steps to this steps. So ideally, Wendy gets... Let's see, this came out when? Did we just put that out? We must have, yeah. Yeah, okay. So ideally, Wendy gets the clue from the Endless Bridge, moves, gets the one through tear through space, and then moves to the Prismatic Cascade. So that is what we will do. We will spend 2, or no, we're not spending 2. We're investigating, committing perception for her to investigate the Endless Bridge. She is at 3. Oh man, she's at... We don't really have a card that we want to get rid of. I think first action we'll draw a card, actually. Okay, a flashlight. That is nice. 2. we'll spend the 2 resources to play the flashlight. I don't know what I'm putting up there. Okay, flashlight here. Kind of want to go for speed, but I also want to have a card to pitch. Don't want to pitch any. Well, we can pitch our perception. Or, no, actually, we're going to commit the perception. So, we will draw a card. And then we'll investigate. And we get the Tear Through Time card next. So, we get a lucky. Alright, we'll investigate committing perception. And we will toss our lucky if we want to redraw. So we're using a flashlight. So the shot is down to 2. We're at 3, and plus perception we're 4, 5. So we're 5v2. 0. Okay. We get the clue and draw a card. Another lucky. We'll go ahead and armitage that. Get 3 resources. Then maybe we'll finally play Wendy's Amulet and we'll have lucky on tap. We'll see. Okay, Agnes. We don't want to take any more unnecessary horror, so we'll just take a resource. We'll spend our 3 resources to play Shriveling. I'll move this Fire Axe down here. It's our kind of secondary way of doing. Actually, we'll move the painkillers down as well. Alright, we got 4 charges. Alright, we are ready to go. Alright. So, we'll refresh. Agnes will draw, and she will get drawn to the flame. She can get 2 of those clues there. And a resource. Whoops. And then Wendy will draw. Armitages. And get a cat burglar. We definitely want to try to get him into play. Getting that agility up would be nice. And the extra soak. Alright, we're at 1 of 4 doom. We draw and we'll get another conglomeration of spheres. But this time she has a Shriveling and she can murder it. So, maybe the same conglomeration of spheres. Alright. And then Wendy will get a Tear Through Space. You put it into play at the end of the round. Either place 1 doom on it. Oh, so we should have placed the doom on this last time, because I keep forgetting to do it. This one comes out, we put a clue on it. And it's not connected to the other Tear Through Space, but I'm going to keep the connections the same. Okay. So we'll just put them next to each other. And it surges into Push into Beyond. Choose and shuffle a non-story asset you control. Okay, that's going to be the flashlight. Or do we do Armitage? Is he served us well? Alright. Maybe we will. I think we're going to need the flashlight. Yeah, so. Okay, and then we'll take Horror if we discard him. Oh, actually, he's a story asset. Huh. Just kidding. Okay, so it has to be the flashlight. Alright. So it's flashlight. Sadly. And she's going through her discard very quickly. We're going to get Abandoned Alone. Alright, I think we already discarded Abandoned Alone, right? Did we? Or have we not seen it? It was Dark Memory. Oh my gosh, all these wonderful cards we're going to lose. Maybe we'll discard it right here. Alright. Oh! I didn't do that. Alright, so Emergency Cache is on top. So we could get some serious resources, actually. if we were to play her amulet and play the emergency cache. So that's pretty nice. Okay. Which I think she's going to do. So action 1, she will play her amulet. Pay 2 resources. Action 2, she will play emergency cache off of the top of her deck. It goes off of her discard. She gets 3 resources and draws a card. Which is another cat burglar. She can Armitage that to get 3 resources because she already has one in hand. Okay, great. Now, the top event is look what I found. So, tear through time. We can put 1 more doom on it. Then we would be at 1, 2, 3, 4. No. Alright, so we need to move through and just ignore it because she wants to get to Agnes' location. So 2 and 3 will be her 2 and 3 actions, and we're just going to let it go. So we don't want to advance early. Okay, and then Agnes is going to shrivel the conglomeration of spheres. So she is at... And we just want to make sure we heal this horror, so we'll go ahead and commit a fearless to this. So she's at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, V1. Seems okay. And she'll heal 2 horror if she succeeds by 2 or more. Okay, -4. She does 2 damage because it's a spell. It doesn't eat it. It's 2 damage and she heals 2 horror from Fearless. Great. Alright. Then I think she will use another shriveling on it. This time she's just up by 9 V1. You know what? Wendy could commit double or nothing and we could just kill it. So yeah, we'll double or nothing and we're at 9V2. We should have done that on the first one. She could have healed 4 horror. That would have been so much smarter. I was thinking about it for getting clues, but saving charges is good. Okay, that is reveal another token. If you fail, I have to discard steal cards from the top of the encounter deck. The location is and put that location into play and move there. Okay, Elder Sign. We succeed by a lot. So we do 4 damage to Conglomeration of Spheres. It is dead. That's our second action. Alright. And for her last action, did we draw into the flame last action? Sure, why not? No guts, no glory. She'll draw into the flame and draw a prismatic cascade, which is just where they're at. It's the same thing. Revelation put into play and discard a random card from your hand. Okay, so we're discarding a random card from our hand. We're not so fussed about what these cards could be. Again, this is connected just like the other prismatic cascade, but it's not connected to the other prismatic cascade. So okay, we lose an Arcane Studies. I'm super okay with that. It's kind of a useless card. And we get the 2 clues. So now we have the 4 clues to advance, and we will go ahead and do that. We'll spend the 4 clues to advance. We're looking at a light shimmers in the distance and you head toward it to investigate. The wispy light drifts away from you, floating through the realm's strange gateways, ascending looping staircases and crossing through barriers you dared not cross earlier. With little chance of finding the nexus on your own, you follow the light, hoping it is guiding you in the right direction. Put the set-aside edge of the universe location into play. Alright, so here we have the edge of the universe. You must have at least 2 clues in order to move to the edge of the universe. And that is connected here to the steps of however you say it. Alright. And now we do upkeep. There's 2 clues here. Boy, if Agnes can get a Rite of Seeking, she would just be a powerhouse now. Here's hoping that it's somewhere in the next few cards. She draws Holy Rosary, not in the cards. I'm sadly disappointed by how little treacheries I've been testing for willpower. Alright, and then we get a quick thinking from Wendy, which is nice. She gets a resource. And she actually can get a pretty good turn here with Will to Survive if she wanted to do that. Alright, we're actually at the end of the round. We're going to let these. Actually, we could let that tear through space stick around and have a doom on it, so that it gives a way to get to this location without having to go through here and test the willpower. Plus, we get a clue off that location. Maybe even Agnes could do it with her lucky. Alright. We're at 3 of 4 doom, and Agnes will get another conglomeration of spheres. What is this? Okay. And Wendy will get... Okay, the Interstellar Traveler. When you enter the location, put one clue on that location to its doom side and place it on Interstellar Traveler, or place one doom on Interstellar Traveler if there are no clues. So this is... actually, the last... Yeah, so if we put him here on this prismatic cascade, then everybody's just going to go back to another dimension, which is bad. We can put him somewhere else. We can put him on Tear Through Space. We don't have a way. I mean, Agnes can shrivel him. Move in and shrivel. How are we going to deal with the conglomeration of spheres, though? More to that point, if we do that, then how is Wendy going to get enough clues? Oh, this should have been gone too, because when she left, we had to shuffle that in. I'll put doom. We're not going to put doom. Oh, too many triggers. Alright, so let me think about this. Alright, I think we put this guy on the prismatic cascade. He will eat a doom. Okay. And we're just going to let him... No. We're going to put him here and let him eat this doom. Yeah. Okay. If we don't kill him, we advance. Agnes can move and shrivel him and then move to this prismatic cascade, which is probably okay. She just has to... Wendy's going to have to deal with this conglomeration of spheres. She plays the cat burglar, evades, and then moves to the steps. Yeah, okay. So she if she plays the cat burglar, she'll be evading up by 1. She can put 2 resources into it with a lucky. Sounds good. Okay. Action 1. She will engage... She'll spend 4 resources. Play the cat burglar, which is her last ally slot. Action 2, she will engage in conglomeration. She'll spend 2 resources to go up by 3, evading with a lucky in hand. That 2 resources spent was on Scrapper. I don't know if I said that. Okay, that's -5. We will spend 1 to be lucky. Goes to the bottom of her deck. And he is evaded. The reason we just wanted to use Cat Burglar and move away is because it would just go right back onto Agnes. And then for her last action, she's going to move into the steps of wherever it is. How do you say that? And then next turn, she should be able to quick thinking and move in, get the clues and move into the edge of the universe. All right, so Agnes will action 1 move in. Interstellar Traveler engages her. 2, she will shrivel. She is at 5 6, 7, 8, 9 V4 with a lucky in hand. Not, I mean, she's up by 5, so. Okay, that is revealing a token. Nice 2. He takes 2 damage. This was her second action. She will take a Forbidden Knowledge. She'll exhaust Forbidden Knowledge and take a Horror and get a resource. Now we'll kill him using her ability. And then she will move to the Prismatic Cascade for her last action. Agglomeration of Spheres readies. And we do everything readies. Went through those shriveling charges rather quickly. Okay, upkeep, Agnes will get a Ward of Protection. Pretty nice. And a resource. And Wendy will get Leo DeLuca. She will Armitage that. 3 resources. Alright, and we will let this the end of the round. That's the end of the round, right? Yep. Discard it. Alright. So now that the Conglomeration of Spheres is going to hunt here in order to get back to there. Oh, well, because Wendy's there. But Wendy's not planning to stay there unless something really bad happens. Alright, Agnes will get Beyond the Veil. She will spend a resource and Ward of Protection that. Putting a Horror on the Rosary since we have a replacement Rosary. It does not cancel the Surge. And she gets the Athenian Star Seeker. It's a 3/4/5. Spawns in another dimension, and when it attacks an investigator with more than 10 cards in his or her discard pile, place 1 Doom on the Athenian Star Seeker. So this will definitely be a problem. Stuff if we ever go back there. All right, and then Wendy will get another one. So there's 2 there. Where's Dynamite Blast when you need one? All right. I think Wendy just needs to do her turn. So she is going to the top event. Oh, wait. It somehow, look what I found. I thought we had a Will to Survive, but it is a look what I found. Okay. So we need to fail an investigate test to play the look what I found so we can get to the Will to Survive. Okay, action 1, she's going to investigate. Steps. We want to pass this by 2-0. We pass, which is unfortunate. We'll do it again. Okay, -1 for each extra dimensional location. There are 1, 2, 3. So we fail by 3, which is not enough. We could pitch this if we're thinking to try again, but we're not going to. We're going to go again. I should have drawn cards, but whatever. Alright. So I have something to pitch. Okay, and last action, we're going to try it again. This is really frustrating. But we're just trying to get that Will to Survive off of our discard pile. Out of our discard. Auto fail. Alright. Well, I think when Agnes is going to have to go and tank the hit from the Conglomeration of Spheres, which is no good. That was a very disappointing turn. I think we just go there and start drawing cards. We could play the Arcane Studies and try to investigate, but we're not up by enough for it to matter. But I kind of want to get the Arcane Studies into play. So action 1, we will go ahead and put the Arcane Studies into play, and that will eventually allow us to boost our intellect if we need to. We could try to get a clue with Lucky here. Sure, we'll try it. No, I think Lucky's too valuable. Well, she's going to need clues. Yeah, we'll investigate. 2v2. -2. She will spend 1. Play Lucky, and she'll draw a card. She gets some emergency cash, and she gets a clue. That was her second action. Third action, she'll move here. And I just realized the Conglomeration Spheres is going to attack Wendy anyway, because that's what it does, but it's the lowest willpower. So it comes and attacks her, and she'll take a damage and horror on Leo De Luca. And we will go ahead and use Forbidden Knowledge from Agnes, take a horror, during the enemy phase to put 8 damage onto the Conglomeration of Spheres. Alright. And we're ready, everything? The reason I want to get the will to survive is so she can make sure that she passes this willpower test when she leaves. Alright, upkeep. Agnes gets another Lucky. Okay. And a resource. Wait, we took a resource from Forbidden Knowledge. We should have 2 resources. Alright, and then Wendy will get a sneak attack. Okay. And a resource. So we can actually evade. If we Armitage this, which we will do, so we'll get 3 more resources. We can evade and sneak attack. But first we have the agenda advances. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Then you discard cards from top until location is discarded. Lead investigator resolves that location's revelation effect. Okay, and we get. Let's see a Beyond the Veil go, and Collapsing Reality, and another Beyond the Veil. Okay, Dimensional Doorway. Okay, Revelation. Put Dimensional Doorway into play, then draw the topmost hex in the encounter discard pile, which is Beyond the Veil. It's fortunate that Wendy has her amulet out, because I don't think Beyond the Veil will hurt her too much, because she keeps putting events underneath. At the end of your turn, if you are at a Dimensional Doorway, you must either spend 2 resources or shuffle Dimensional Doorway into the encounter deck. So this is actually super interesting. Okay, so this actually goes here. It's connected to this location, but we're not connected any other way. So, but she does draw Beyond the Veil. And then it surges, sadly. So this goes into a threat area, and it's going to surge into an Interstellar Traveler. Okay. Alright, so he'll go here, which causes this to do a Doom, which moves the Interstellar Traveler back to this location. Alright, and then we have check the campaign log. If at least one name is recorded under Sacrifice to Yog-Sothoth, read the following. Yes, there was one name. It was Earl Sawyer. You hear a familiar voice calling out to you, and you enter an impossibly shaped building of cracked stone. No, don't, the voice cries. You rush toward the voice, down a set of steep, narrow stairs. Upon reaching the bottom, you find yourself in the hidden chamber from Dunwich. Bound by shackles, you see those you failed to save, bloodied and maimed. A creature with a man's face feeds from a corpse in the ground. The head of the corpse turns to face you, and a sharp pain stabs at your heart. Each investigator tests willpower X, where X is the number of names, which is 1. For each point an investigator fails by, that investigator takes 1 damage. Alright, so Agnes will test at 7v1. -3, she passes. And this is actually on a treachery, so we still don't get the draw card. And then Wendy is going at 4v1. Okay, 0. She passes, so no damage for her. Alright, and now they draw encounter cards. Agnes will get pushed into the beyond, choosing shuffle a non-story asset you control. Probably the painkillers. And then the copy of it is discarded. We're going to take we'll take 2 horror. Discard 3 cards. Okay, we'll get 1, 2, and 3. Hate to see that Fearless go. But we don't take horror. Actually, we wouldn't have minded taking horror because that damage to conglomeration of spheres. Okay, and then Wendy will get the Endless Bridge Revelation. She is going to lose 2 resources, which doesn't like. But the Endless Bridge is interesting. That's the one that if you leave it, this gives us an actual pathway to get that goes from this location. All right, so Wendy will evade the conglomeration of spheres. She is up by 1. She will spend 2 resources to be up by 3. That's a 0. Right. That was action 1. Conglomeration of spheres is evaded. Okay, then she will spend 2 resources to play Sneak Attack, which goes on the bottom of her deck to do 2 damage to the conglomeration of spheres. Let's see, that's gone. Alright. We will investigate. Up by, we're at even. It's getting up by even. -3, and we will investigate at even. Do we have anything we can commit here? We don't. Elder Sign, she passes and gets the clue, so she can't use Look What I Found. So, Agnes can give her the guts when she's going to leave, I guess. So, Agnes still needs to be able to get a clue. Let's see, and this is if you leave, if you fail, shuffle it into the encounter deck instead of moving here. So you would move to this location and get slaughtered by all that stuff if you fail the willpower test, which is why I wanted Will to survive. So she's going to be at 4, 5, 6 to beat 2, which is not amazing, but is what it is. Okay. So I guess Agnes will shrivel conglomeration of spheres. She is at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 V1. Okay, she does 2 damage. We will okay, this discards this. We'll take a horror. as a free trigger. So taking one action, and we get a resource to kill the conglomeration of spheres, but we are on a lot of horror, and we got rid of our other fearless. It's not looking too good. And we don't have enough clues to move to the edge of the universe. We want to move back, but we want to be able to help Wendy out before we leave. So we will draw a card. Oh, a Rite of Seeking. That is fantastic. All right, and then we will spend our last action playing an emergency cache to get 3 resources. The Rite of Seeking is only not fantastic because the one location where we can get clues, we would get 2 clues and then it would go away. But, so maybe it's not as fantastic as I thought. Alright, so we're good. No enemies Hunter's Hunt because it's Interstellar Traveler. Well, what's it say? When he enters location, he spawns it. Oh, actually, he would hunt. This prismatic cascade is gone. So actually, he will hunt to here. I don't remember. Did I spawn him last time? This is actually... this was not well thought out by me. So he gets a doom here. I hope I'm doing this in the right timing of things. Alright. I think so, yeah. They are gonna have to go fast. Alright. Agnes for upkeep. We'll get another shriveling. Okay, well that's good. And alright, we get an elusive. Okay, by Wendy. 2 resources. That's fantastic, actually. Alright. Did I grab 2 resources? 1 resource. I don't know why I would have grabbed... I guess I saw 2 resources on it. 1 resource. Okay. And then agenda. We're now at 3 of 6 doom, and we get an endless bridge. Okay. It's going to go right next to that other endless bridge. And we lose 2 resources. So Agnes is going to lose 2 of her resources that we just played an emergency cache to get. And then Wendy will get the surges. It's tear through space. The clue on it. And that surges into an interstellar traveler at any extra dimensional location. We could put it up here, the prismatic cascade. No, that doesn't work very well. Put it here to let it hunt in, and then we can go in and attack it, maybe? I think we just put it up here with the other one. And just accept that we're going to be losing a lot of doom. Losing a lot of rounds. And just go fast. Alright, so this is for all the marbles right here. We've got to pass this test when Wendy is going to go into the edge of the universe. So action 1, she's going to move in. She is at 4B2, and Agnes will commit the guts. And we'll actually commit the quick thinking. Do we want to draw a card first? Let's see, we have not used him yet. I think we do draw a card so we can redraw on a tentacle. No, we can just play the elusive if we need. We can do the elusive. Okay, so we're at 4, 5, 6, 7 B2. Up by 5, which is where we want to be. Okay, reveal another token. -2. Okay, so we get an extra action. So we'll just give her our action back. And Agnes draws a card. Okay, she gets Peter Sylvester. That's good for the horror healing. Now she does get to move in because she passed the test, and we have this, which is it's 4 clues. It's a 2 shroud. It's the edge of the universe. You must have at least 2 clues in order to move to the edge of the universe. So it's still got the same condition. So Agnes can't move there until she has 2 clues. It doesn't cost you 2 clues to get in. Investigators at the edge of the universe cannot draw cards during the upkeep phase. Oh, I forgot about that. That is not amazing. And notice, did I read this act? If the investigators enter the edge of the universe, advance. So, you reach an impossibly dense, pitch-black void and realize that this place is where all of reality, all that is, and all that ever will be ends. And in its center you see a minuscule rift suspended just out of reach. When you peer through the terror, you're surprised to see the peak of Sentinel Hill. Somehow, you've reached the other side of the rift. Now you must find a way to close it for good. Okay. Alright, we have closed the rift. The unearthly stones on the ground are inscribed with some sort of seal. Approaching them causes a voice to enter your mind, speaking in an alien tongue. Discard the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. Okay, the same thing. Objective: only investigators at the edge of the universe may spend the requisite number of clues as a group to advance. Looking for 6 clues, so if we can get all 4 clues that are there. She can advance. Alright, she's investigating at 3v2. We can still trigger, look what I found. It's -1. So that's her. Okay, we're going at 3v2 again. That is an auto fail. We're just going to eat it, because I don't want to lose elusive. We are going to draw again. We're going to go again. -2. We'll spend 2 to play with what I found off of her deck and get. Let's see, that was that. She gets 2 clues. Now we'll draw a card. Off of her last action, we'll draw a card, planning to Armitage it so we can play Will to Survive next turn. And she'll get a Guts. And we will Armitage that, putting it into her discard pile, getting 3 resources. Next turn, she can Will to Survive. Alright, so Agnes is going to leave the steps, go to the Prismatic Cascade, and investigate to get 1 clue, and then be okay. So, action 1. She will move. She has to test. She's at 5, 6, 7, B2. Has to test the willpower when she leaves. Zero. She passes. Alright, now she's going to investigate. We don't want to use the Right of Seeking because we don't want to get both clues because that'll make that location go away. And then she'll get transported here and die to all those guys. Alright, so action 2, she's going to investigate using Arcane Studies. She's at 2. She wants to be up by 3 because she can Lucky. So she'll spend 3 resources on Arcane Studies to boost her intellect up to 5. She's up by 3. She can Lucky to get, if she gets the -5. Or the Skulls. This is just a straight up investigate. -3, she passes, and she gets the clue. And then, I guess, we don't have enough resources to play the Shriveling yet. So we will take a resource. We have enough to get in there, but there's no reason to hang out on here, because this is like our way to get to this location. Did those guys... Oh, actually, they are connected. They can hunt this way. Interesting. Okay. Which they probably will do. Alright, that's fine. She'll stay here and she'll just take a resource as an action for her last action. Alright. So, these guys hunt here. And they each get a doom and they eat that 1 clue. I guess we're probably going to advance right away, right? probably. Alright, upkeep. Agnes gets Forbidden Knowledge. Might be nice for resources. Wendy does not draw because she, because of this location effect. So, cool. This quick thinking should be our discard pile. Alright. So, we put a Doom. I think we advance for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. All this Doom goes away. Oh, actually, this location we would have let go away to make these guys come back here. And actually, they get more Doom, but it doesn't matter. Yeah. Alright. I think I played those guys a little bit wrong, but I think at the end of the day, we're advancing at the time we should be advancing, so... Alright, so this is the key in the gate. Spawn the satisfied Yog-Sothoth enemy at the edge of the universe. The edge of the universe is not in play. Spawn at another dimension instead. Advance to agenda 4A. So we have Yog-Sothoth. He's massive hunter. Retaliate. He gets plus 12 health. He cannot be evaded and cannot make attacks of opportunity. When Yog-Sothoth attacks you, instead of taking up to X horror, you may discard the top X cards from your deck. Then, if you have no cards in your deck, you are driven insane. Alright, so he's here with Wendy, just hanging out. Okay, and then we go to this last. The edge of all things. The shape in the distance smashes through the barriers of this dimension, its many arms reaching to envelop everything you see. Its body is like an ooze, covering its eyes and mouth. You feel insignificant like a bug next to the creature's terrifying grandeur. After you remove to a location by an encounter card effect, take 1 horror. If Yog-Sothoth is defeated, R2. Okay. And we're at a Tomb threshold, and we're drawing encounters. We get pushed into the Beyond from Agnes. We will do the shriveling. So he actually should be like right here. Okay, we discard 3 cards. Rite of Seeking. Chronophobia, not too bad. Dark Memory, okay. Happy to see those go. Alright, not too bad. Okay, now it's Wendy's encounter, and she'll get Conglomeration of Spheres. Okay. Alright, so that comes in and engage with her. Alright, she will just rechecking her discard pile. She's got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's see. The top event. Oh no, it's Lucky. How is it Lucky? Did we discard a Lucky? I thought it was both to survive. Okay. Well, I think we can still do this. Okay, so she will take an attack of opportunity to investigate. Getting this last clue off of here. She takes attack of opportunity from the Conglomeration Sphere, so she takes a damage and a horror. And then she will investigate this. She is 3d2. Auto fail. Do we pitch the illusory draw? I don't think we do. Take a second action. Taking another damage and a horror. To investigate. 0. She gets the clue. Then she can spend 6 clues to advance. You're utterly exhausted, with no idea as to what can have been done to close the rift. It is too distant to touch, and nothing you do has any effect. There is nothing here to guide you apart from the unearthly words that are seeping into your mind. Just then you hear a familiar voice within the echoing chorus, and you feel yourself compelled to repeat it. Claudia Astuum. You whisper at first, the words on the tips of your tongue. You close your eyes to concentrate, and the echo grows louder. When it ends, you open your eyes, and you face nothing but an inky abyss, and the terror has vanished. Remove the edge of the universe from the game, and put the set-aside terror through time location into play. So, we remove this, which means she gets moved. She takes a horror, which is fine. Put on Cat Burglar. And she moves back to this location with all of these enemies that engage her. And Yog-Sothoth, I suppose, also does it really say? Yeah, because removed from the game, he comes here. So we gave her her horror. She's here with all of these things engaged with her. Interstellar Traveler, Yuthian Starseeker, and he is here, and massive. Okay, and then we have to put in the tear through time. Goes into play here. Doesn't have anything, but it is the location. It's the moon. So has no requirements to get into it. And then we have a new Act 4, which is finding a new way. With no clear way out of this dimension, you seek another path. And it has the same action to discard the top 3 cards in the encounter deck, and then if each undefeated investigator has resigned, advance. So, we're looking for a resign location. Alright, so she'll spin 2. Play Elusive, it's fast. Goes under her encounter deck, and she can move to the Dimensional Doorway, because it lets her move to any revealed location in play. And yeah, then she will take an action to move into Tear Through Time, which has 4 clues, and it has an action to spin 2 clues to resign. You find a new way and path and hope that it leads back to safety. So cool. She will spend her last action to evade. There's 4 clues there. So she needs 2 clues. Okay, and then she will do her last action to investigate. She is at 3v2. Again, up by 2. -3. So she will spend a resource. Play Lucky off the top. Play Lucky, goes under her deck, and she gets a clue. So she just needs to get 1 more clue, and then she can resign. Okay, so Agnes has got her 2 clues. She can move. She just has to beat this willpower check. Oh, when she elusived, she disengaged from all of this. So all of these guys are back there. All right. So Agnes will action 1 move. And action 2 move. She's testing 2 willpower. She's at 5, 6, 7 v2. So let's hope that she does not. If she draws the tentacle, then she dies. So such is the life of a waitress sorcerer. She's sorcerer traded. But no, she gets there. And she will spend 2 clues for her last action to resign. So she's gotten out. Now it's just a matter of whether Wendy can get out. Alright, so just remove Agnes' stuff from the game. Now it is these Yuthian Star Seekers. They will hunt. No, sorry, they don't hunt. The Interstellar Travelers hunt. And they each, it's so they each get a doom, which means the agenda will advance. And then Wendy will draw emergency cash. We're getting to the cards that we've already seen before. Where's I'm out of here? I wonder. It's got to still be there. So I guess this is a different emergency cache. Okay. So the agenda advances. We move these two doom. Those two doom. The agenda advances. Seeking the rift from which you enter this dimension, the extra-dimensional horror lashes out, crushing entire realms within its grasp. In player order, Yog-Sothoth attacks each investigator in play, regardless of Yog-Sothoth's current location, then flip the agenda back to its A side. So he's going to attack her for a damage, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 horror. So she'll take a damage, and she can discard cards to avoid her. How much you can do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's see. How much horror can she take? She's got 7 horror. We will chance discarding. Let's see. We can't take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because that would kill her. We can. All right. We'll do it. So we'll get... Actually, I don't want her to be... She still has to draw an encounter card. What I'm trying to do is I don't want to discard too many cards because that'll cover up the will to survive, which could guarantee her a way to get out. But I don't want to just take a ton of horror. I don't want to... we got this beyond the veil to worry about too. So I think we'll take 2 horror and discard 3 cards. So it's 1, 2... 3, 4, 5. So she'll discard flashlight, a flare. Well, that covers up her will to survive, sadly. And I'm out of here. Take that. Well, actually, I say take that, but if I get anything that lets me, covers that up, because she could play that and just resign, because that resign location. So let's see what she gets for the Mythos phase. She gets an arcane barrier. Attaches to her location and does nothing. Then she will use I'm out of here off of her discard pile, top of her discard pile, and she resigns, and they win the campaign. And because they both resigned, they got the good ending. You discover the path that looks somewhat familiar and follow it. Even though your task is complete, you now understand that in closing the tear, you may never make it home. The fear of being lost here forever spurns you onward through an archway leading to an overgrown corridor. A damp wooden door leads you out into a pocket of thin rain and dark sky. Cement turns to gravel, then marble, then steel, then grass. You cross impossibly long meadows and make your way through dense woods before fatigue finally sets in. Drained of all energy, you cannot go on any further. Your body gives out. R1, and they do win the campaign. Oh my gosh, that was a pretty insane, end there. It was fun to play I'm Out of Here, leaning into a roguish side, so that was good. When I saw that flare, I was thinking, oh man. It definitely I will say, this was a fun experience playing with these cards. I definitely have regrets about I should have taken Grotesque Statue much earlier with Agnes. The Book of Shadows really didn't do much for me. I don't know if it's... maybe I could have gotten it into play, and it would have helped me. Obviously, it would have been great for just running through those shriveling charges. But, definitely, I think this was fun, exciting. I hope that the Mystic Survivor combination was interesting to watch, as opposed to, my first run that I did through this was Zoe and Daisy, and, it felt like it was fairly straightforward, as opposed to having to do all these tricks and things to find clues. But of course, Agnes's high willpower is super good for a lot of the treacheries and things. Can't underestimate that. Anyway, this is a wild ride. I hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to seeing you next time on Winging It.